Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're making the easiest bread pudding in the history of the world. Super simple, easy to make, bread pudding, Buzz Cooks, stick around. All right, everybody, let's get into this bread pudding. But first, I want to tell you about a new channel I have. It's called Vegas Buzz. It's a channel about the history of Las Vegas, stories you've never heard before, history of stories you've never heard before. So if you're interested at all in Las Vegas, give it a shot. Vegas Buzz. All right, now I've got some day-old bread that I let sit out overnight, and I've got the electric knife, and we're going to cut it into nice squares. Believe it or not, that electric knife was a wedding gift to my parents. So that thing has been around since 1958. Can you believe that? Wow. And it still works great. They really knew how to build things back then. Anyways, what we want is 4 cups of these cubes. So once we get that filled up to 4 cups, we'll set that aside and we'll get out a nice big mixing bowl. And we're going to put 4 eggs into that mixing bowl. There we go. And we've got 2 cups of milk. Put that right in. And 1 packet of Jello Vanilla Instant Pudding, 3.2 ounce. And a couple dashes of cinnamon. And we're going to mix this up real well. You could add a little nutmeg if you like. And some people like to add a little more sugar. I think it's sweet enough as it is. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. Now we're going to add our bread. And we'll mix that in. Make sure the bread gets coated nicely. And we're just going to let that set for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let that bread start to soak in some of that liquid. And while I'm doing that, if I can remind you to please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date on newest recipes. And remember, I put out a new show every Sunday and every Wednesday. So we've got our baking dish out here, 8x8. We're going to hit it with a little bit of Pam so nothing sticks. And we're going to take our bowl and pour our bread pudding right in there. And try to spread it out the best we can, nice and evenly. I do have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. So once we get this spread out, we're going to pop that right into the oven. And we're going to let that cook for about 40 minutes. Or until it's nice and golden brown on top. I think the most amazing part about this dish is how simple it is to make. I mean, egg, milk, cinnamon, bread, and the Jello. I think the key of the whole thing is how the Jello adds all the flavor, and it's already portioned out for you in the packet. So 40 minutes later, we'll pull it out. And look at that. That is perfect bread pudding. And watch this, it just cuts out perfectly. Nice little square. We'll plate it up, hit it with a little bit of maple syrup, and you have the easiest bread pudding you've probably ever had or made, and the flavors are intense. All right, there it is. Super simple bread pudding. Enjoy, and we'll see you on the next video.